Everybody to the instructional conversation, and I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Cynthia, and I'd like to go around and have everybody say their name and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Pei Jun Chen.
Hello, my name is Pei Ju Ho. I'm from Taiwan.
Hello, my name is Yu San Zhang. I'm from Korea.
Hello, my name is Gada.
My name is Jacob.
Oh, no, I'm from California.
I'm from Taiwan.
Okay, well, we could take a minute and read our prompt. Is everybody done? Okay, I'll collect them. Please pass them forward. Does anyone need any translation or any words they're not familiar with?
Yeah, minority.
Minority?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to explain that? Minority is someone that is not from the country or the culture that you're currently in. So I would feel that we're all kind of minorities. Jacob might really be the minority here, though.
Here, yeah.
Well, here Jacob's the minority because he's the only one that's Caucasian. Okay, so that's what the difference is. And like you're considered a minority here because you're not from the United States, you're from a different country. So, but nowadays everybody is mixed. I mean, we're all, you don't see just certain races everywhere, maybe in different cities. So, and what about summarization? Did anyone need it summarized, or you understand the prompt?
I understand.
You understand the prompt? Okay. I want everybody to feel comfortable to express your opinions. There's no right or wrong answers, and we're not judging. So sometimes you might feel a topic might be a little racist or anything, but we're not here to judge. We just want you to get involved in the conversation and express your opinion. Okay? So with the prompt, Ernest, that's a male's name. And what he's a minority in the class. So he feels that maybe he's out of place. But how do you feel about when the teacher said, let's give Ernest an applause? What reaction did you get when you read the prompt?
He's encouraged him.
Excuse me?
You mean the instructor when he...
When the instructor said, oh, let's give Ernest an applause. Let's clap for Ernest because he just finished grading all the midterms, the tests that they just finished taking.
Maybe he's trying to encourage him.
Yeah. Do you think he was trying to make fun of him or commend him, like congratulations because you got the better grade of the class? Do you think he was surprised because Ernest, the minority, is someone that's different than everybody else in the classroom? What do you think?
I think the instructor just wanna feel proud of him, not humiliate him.
Not to humiliate him, just go. Okay.
Yeah, because he's a minority and he can get a better job than other majority. So the instructor kind of surprised, but not in a negative way.
So you felt that when he applauded him in front of everybody, he was applauding him, making him feel positive about himself, building his self-esteem.
Even though you are a minority, you can do the good job.
Yeah, I agree with her. He maybe try to make him feel more confident of himself.
make him feel more comfortable in the classroom, even though he feels like he's by himself.
Yeah, maybe the professor wants to show him as a good example because he did a good job as a minority. So maybe, yeah, the professor can encourage him, also he showed a good example to the students.
Yeah, I agree with her because this prompt talks about he is an example of minority, and he used to be a good student, like to ask questions. Most of them always ignore him, so he doesn't feel very good. So maybe privately, in private, he's maybe studies hard in order to draw everyone's attention.
So then he should be happy then when he gets the applause.
Maybe.
Did he feel happy or feel embarrassed?
But I think in this prompt he used to feel very unhappy. So maybe he wants to make a change. And so therefore he studies and try to change the behavior and I don't know my perspective from other classmates and the teachers.
And another thing too, he can probably feel a little bit more comfortable being the minority in the classroom.
Yeah.
He could feel either way though. He could feel embarrassed or he could feel more comfortable and happy.
I think another question is, why do we still think in this day and age, why do we not expect minorities to do as well as the rest of us? You know, it sounded like from the prompt and your guys' ideas too that no one expected him to do well. And it's like we're getting to a point where there's not going to be a majority in this country anymore. In LA, there's not even a majority anymore. I think it's 40% Latino, 40% white, and 20% of the remainder. So, yeah, why are we still in 2012 looking, not expecting minorities to do as well when, you know, they have opportunities?
Probably because American culture thinks they put themselves on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
So when other people come from different countries, they feel that they're more empowered. But in actuality, they don't realize other students or other minorities come from other countries. They're just as intelligent as the American people too. But they have, I guess society brings it into their knowledge that they're better. Bottom line, they're better. That's what they're raised to think. Not everyone. Depends on their culture and how they're raised. I mean, I was raised to teach people to treat people the way you want to be treated. Everybody's equal. Everybody's different. You might not be the same color, the same race, or you might be richer or poor, but everybody should be treated, as a real person. Mm-hmm. And that's part of my religion, but part of the way I was raised. And I'm sure a lot of different cultures are the same in their own way.
You're totally right. But you know that we can see that this situation everywhere, every country. But this situation is in college, so there are so many young people. But yeah, absolutely, the many young people. Not every young people, but some majority group shows like everyone's attitude or ignore the minority groups. So they feel like they think they are superior to the minority groups. So maybe I think one of the problem. So yeah, you're right. We are every person is equals. Whatever they do, wherever they come from, yeah, they are equal. But some people don't consider about that. So they pretend to not to know them.
Well, just like in television, you see different minorities portrayed in different ways. but that's not the way they really are. They just, the media sometimes make minorities, and not just minorities, Caucasian, it could be German, it could be different minorities, but they portray them in a lower level, like a lower class. I mean, it depends on their class. I mean, I'm sure we all learn that in different classes here in the university or even at home or in our own country. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting the way. I mean, I don't know how you guys considered the prompt. I thought it was, white people looking at another person who was a minority, but it's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of white people because they're going to be the minority eventually. It's inevitable. I mean, white people are not having as many kids, and Latinos are, and they're going to see that they're not going to have the power. It's going to be interesting.
And just like our president.
Yeah.
No one thought there was going to be an African American or black president, and there was an uproar. There was a lot of protesting because he became president. I mean, times are changing, people are changing, and people are beginning to see that it's not just the one type of group.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you've seen in history books about different groups, how the levels. So in everybody's country, if, say for instance, if Jacob went to your country, how would he be treated in his class as a minority? Because he's different, right?
Like in Taiwan, I think most Taiwanese are so welcome to the foreigner. Yeah, like in English school, foreigner teacher can get more money than the native teacher, English teacher, but in native English teacher need to do lots of things, much more things than the foreigner teacher, but they can get the higher salary. So I think, in my country, in Asia, I don't know how about in Korea, we are so welcome to foreigners.
There's a lot of teachers in Taiwan that are like Americans that go to Taiwan, and they're teachers, they get a higher salary, but how many of those Americans actually can move up in the company, though? How many of those can be administrators? Well, for example, you worked for Joy, right?
Yeah.
How many Americans at Joy were Americans? Administrators, like the bosses?
Not so many.
Because I heard some of them are from South Africa.
Well, that kind of proves my point too then. I mean, it was the same thing with my company. You could only go up so far as an American, and then you hit a ceiling. And then that was it. You couldn't go up any higher, even if you could speak Chinese. So I think Taiwan is actually better than the U.S. in terms of that, but I think there are similarities too. Another example would be, how often would you expect an American in Taiwan to be able to speak Chinese? I mean, I would go to people in Taiwan, speak Chinese to them, and they would be like, I don't understand. It would just be because I'm white. And they just don't expect a white person to speak Chinese or that they can't speak Chinese. So, I'm not trying to blame Taiwan. I'm just trying to say that it's everywhere. I think we're actually much worse here. And for the most part, I think there was little discrimination, or actually, like you said, reverse discrimination, where Americans went and didn't know what they were really doing, but they still had a higher pay than other teachers, right? But
what about America situation? Maybe in company, the Asian people, maybe the minority can get promoted or not?
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are American people who are the boss of their company in Taiwan, but it's very few and far between. I would think that they can move up here, but as much as a white person could, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
not as much.
Yeah, maybe not as much, but I think if they